Hello, I am from a few clouds from time to time.com. Uh, this is a mental health, mental disorder website teaching skills and providing tools to improve the life of those with any sort of mental disorder. So, today my subject is anxiety. I do have anxiety, so I've experience with this. Um, so, what I'm talking about today is an anxiety emergency kit. So we will go into what that means, but this is a preparation feature. It is something that you would have to prepare ahead of time, and it would help managing anxiety, especially anxiety attacks. So we're going to go over what it is, why you need one, what to put in your kit, a couple of tips, and then a summary. So let's get started. So, an anxiety emergency kit is a collection of soothing things. And what those soothing things are depend on you and your likes and preferences. So, this is something that would be prepared ahead of time that you would take with you. It would incorporate multiple senses, touch, taste, sight, smell, sound, anything that you find soothing or calming. You can even have multiple different kits, one for home, one for work, one for on the go. I started this the last time I worked in an actual office. I used the same concept to deal with anxiety in my work life. So this is a multi-function, multi-location item that you can use. Um, so why do you need a kit? An anxiety kit. If you don't have anxiety, you don't need the kit. If you do have anxiety, you might. Um, so you always want to be prepared. So it's a kit, you can put it in a bag, um, backpack, purse. But think of it like a diaper bag. If you have a child and you are going out of your house and that child is in diapers, you're getting a dirty diaper. Kind of comes with the whole thing there. Um, so if you have a baby, you have an inevitable dirty diaper. If you have anxiety attacks, if you have anxiety, you have inevitable anxiety attacks. So it's preparing something that you know is coming. Similar to how women who are 7 or 8 months pregnant have their pregnancy bag ready to go to the hospital because you want to be prepared because you know one thing, and that is that baby is coming out at some point. So it's the same concept, just adapted a little bit. Now, I can get into this more at a later point on the website. Um, but knowing that you were prepared for an anxiety attack can actually help reduce the severity or even prevent an anxiety attack. And this is non medication based. It can be used to help decrease the strength or the frequency of the need of the anxiety medication. Okay, so touch soothers. So these have actually become quite popular with the ADHD and autism crowds. But I'm noticing weighted blankets, people are loving them. So they're a lot more common than they used to be, and there are a lot more resources that you can access. So you've probably seen the fidget toys. For a while, it was fidget spinners. Um, that everyone had. And they also have little hand puzzles. Um, I have a square that you can fold out and then fold back in on itself. It's a very simple device. Somebody at my old job printed it with a 3D printer for me. And it's just fun just to play with. And it's surprisingly soothing, especially once you get the cadence down and like you have your whole thing set up, like the sequence of events. Um, so again, weighted blankets. They also make weighted blankets that are just lap sized. So you don't have to lug a queen blanket around with you everywhere. Uh, you can get lap blankets, which I did have one of those at work. It was very nice. They're just they're just the size of your lap, and I think they range from about 7 to 10 pounds. Compression clothing is something that some people have had success with. It's the same concept of the weighted blanket, which is just pressure. I don't know, think of it like a hug. And for some people, the pressure on their body just kind of calms them down. They also have chewable fidgets. And I actually did use them to quit smoking. It was a long process, and I did use them for a while. I'm sure I looked very strange chewing on them, but it did. I quit smoking, and I've not gone back to it. So never underestimate the fidget toys. Now, if you want things that are not quite as noticeable by other people, uh, some people can be soothed by sucking on hard candy. They have prayer beads that you can like roll around, which a lot of people find soothing, and those would not be as noticeable as a weighted vest, for an example. Some people like certain types of fabric, silk, like a cotton, and any kind of fabric. Some people like stretchy cots, like stretchy. I don't know what it's called, stretchy material. So just anything that you can kind of move in your hands, and something like a smooth stone, just things that you can move in your hand that you find soothing, and that can really help when you're, especially when you're starting to feel that nervousness come on. So then we have audio video soothers. So this would be calming music, any kind that you like. I have an application on my phone that gives me like relaxation music. They have a couple different stations, and the classical music if that's something that calms you down. Just whatever you feel is an appropriate music for you, even if it's upbeat, as long as it kind of centers you and brings you back, it would work. ASMR videos, I use this a lot. I do have a very favorite video and a favorite ASMR creator, so I will put the link in the comments. The video, you may have already seen it. It's been viewed like 42 million times. Most of them are probably me, but so I'll put a link to that. It's just the general gist of ASMR is that it's very quiet, it is very calming, it is soothing. It feels motherly to me, like when your mother would fuss about you and make sure your hair is perfect, and you're like, but it's just very soothing. And they have different kinds. They have specific sound ones. They have people doing things, like pretending to medical exams. It's all over the place. But I will put that video link in the below the video. So you can also go with like recordings of images or family, and friends, that things that soothe you, things that make you smile, that are happy. Because when you have an anxiety attack, it can feel really dark. I added a cat purring. I love cats. And cats they actually have ASMR videos of cats purring, so I'm not alone in this one. You can use favorite podcasts. There are guided meditations. There are tons of programs out there. Some are free, have free trials. I know I've tried Calm and Headspace. So it's really down to your personal preference as to how you want to use it, what you want to do. You can even find guided meditations on YouTube for free. And sleep stories can be very nice, especially if you have something like insomnia, um, which it's not anxiety, but kind of. But the concept is that because it is so soothing, it's meant to push you to sleep. So you're looking at something that has a very calming effect. I don't think you're going to go to sleep during an anxiety attack, but it can really calm you down. Another thing for visual are things of colors that you find calming. You can have images of serene uh, places or landscape or vacation spots. If you have any issues, basically sensory issues. I haven't known anyone that did not have sensory issues that use this, but I'm not sure, so I put it in there for everybody. Headphones or earplugs that are noise canceling. These are often marketed to those with autism because they have the sensory disorders. My son has autism, and taking him out was very difficult because the noise would bother him and he would get overstimulated and he would melt down. So, as he was going through school, they actually gave him a pair of broken headphones, the very large ones um, that you would imagine being at an elementary school, just big, unbreakable headphones. But he used those for years. He would keep them on when he was in school, and he would take them off when he was comfortable. And if he started having issues, he would put them back on. Um, but they also have noise canceling earplugs, and there are some of them, I believe they have made lower um, price versions, but headphones that allow you to still hear but take out a lot of the extraneous noise. So those are typically made for musicians who, being in a concert, like up on stage with all of the noise there, I mean, it's overwhelming. So they have earplugs where you can still hear what is going on, but the depth of the sound is kind of controlled. And sunglasses, if you have sensory visual sensory issues, it's the lights in office buildings can be very anxiety inducing to someone with a sensitivity disorder, and it's a known issue. Uh, and I was in an office where we had some people that did have sensory issues, and we kept trying to turn the light off right above us, and they were not having that. So I think somebody did eventually bring in sunglasses. Um, but it's an option. If you're having an anxiety attack and you're on your own or no one is there, you can use an eye mask to block out light and any visual distraction or anything that's bothering you. I actually get a very nice disposable mask. They are lavender scented. They're heated. They're extremely relaxing. I have not tried them during an anxiety attack, but I have used them when my brain gets overloaded and it's really hard to think and focus. This happens at work all the time, so I work at home, so I will just grab one, take my lunch break, lean back, put that on, and just chill. So the eye mask, that they have the silk ones, they have reusable ones, microwavable ones, they have disposable ones. So the I honestly just suggest those to relax. It's very nice. Um, so again, think of yourself and what you enjoy, what calms you down, what helps you think a little clearer. You can do calming exercises, breathing exercises, paying attention to your breathing or breathing in a certain pattern that will actually calm you down. The Apple Watch has a breathing exercise app on it. I think I've used it a couple times. But something like this, YouTube is going to have a lot of them, just explaining um, counting for you, telling you how long to hold, when to exhale, when to inhale, exhale. So those are fairly easy to find on your phone. You can look them up or record some, and then you can use that to guide you. Guided meditations. Once again, Calm and Headspace have some of these, and it can be very useful to, especially if it is one you have used before, to listen to the voice and focus on that and kind of tune everything out until you start coming down. So, walking. Everyone is saying how amazing walking is, and I can tell you they're not even joking. So, I have done this before. I walk every day. Um, but if you get stressed and you have anxiety, you have the fight or flight response that is just coming up, and you have that adrenaline, but because you're having an anxiety attack over something that has nothing to do with the reason we evolved this, we we have that energy and we have nothing to do with it. So if you can do anything active, taking a walk, um, doing lunges, even just any kind of exercise, um, it can help you come down if you have that anxiety that's just not leaving. Try to burn up that energy that's just kind of you're mulling around with. And body relaxation exercises. Um, so these can be kind of like guided meditations. You can find them on YouTube. I think there are some apps that have these, but you focus on parts of your body and relaxing that part of your body, and you systematically go through and slowly relax everything. So it's very calming. It requires you focus on something which can narrow your focus and get some of the things you don't need to be thinking about out of your head. So those can be any kind of body relaxation exercises. They have like healing exercises. You can try to use inspiration to help you get through an anxiety attack. So, something like inspirational quotes for you that resonate with you, that make you feel a certain way, that when you read them, it gives you an emotion. And that's, we want a good emotion. Something like a goal that you're working towards. Maybe you're saving up to get a refrigerator. Let's go with refrigerator. Um, so take a picture of the refrigerator and keep it with you. And when you're getting stressed and you feel the anxiety, take it out and be like, that is a beautiful refrigerator that I am one day going to own. So it's keeping your eyes on the prize. So you have goals, there are things you're looking forward to, and the future can kind of be nerve-wracking for people at times. The future is uncertain. We don't know what is going to happen, but making those goals, um, and evaluating them when you're feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling like you cannot do anything, that you don't have any course of action to help yourself, knowing that you are exercising control in a different area can help you calm down a little bit. Also, like a list of accomplishments, things that you have done, awards you have gotten, things you have participated in, just things to remind you that it's not always like this. You're not always like this. That there is a very large part of your life that is not the anxiety attack itself. Also, pictures of your family, friends, pets, just anything that you find comforting. And I say all this because I try to keep it vague, because every person is different, and just because something works for me does not mean it will work for you. So you there's kind of a level of self-reflection where you're looking at yourself and you're saying, okay, what calms me down? What helps me focus? What do I think will get me through the anxiety attack? This is one thing that you can do, and it has to be done before anything happens. Maybe it's just me, but when I have an anxiety attack, my brain does not function well. I can't think of words to say. I don't know. I'm just lost. And when you hit that point, there's not, it's like you have nothing to hold on to. So think about yourself in an anxiety attack when you are not. So do this when you are perfectly fine, when you're not having any anxiety or no notable anxiety. Write yourself a note and to tell yourself whatever you need to hear when all you can feel are fear or anger. What things do you need to remember in your mind that can help you move through that? So again, that is something that depends on you, and you're going to have to do some soul searching and find out what are things that really snap me out of it. What are things that catch my attention? What is something that is deeply meaningful to me? So your family and friends can also do this for you, things that they would like for you to remember. That is great. But the the person who knows you the best is you. And the person who knows your anxiety the best is also you. So think about it, create it, write it down, carry it with you. So, some tips. It should have several things that you can cycle through. The more things, the better, honestly. Choose the order carefully. What I try to do with anything I'm with any system I'm using, I want to try, it's like medication. You want to try the lowest amount first. You want to have something that will catch those little twinges when you feel something might happen. And you want to be able to look ahead and say, if this doesn't work, that is okay. And I have this other thing that I am going to try. Having layers can help you feel more secure. Just having this at all can help you feel more secure and prepared for whatever is going to come up. You can use things that are solid comforts, things that you have seen or thought or heard and has affected you for years or your entire life. You can also experiment with new things. The only thing I will say is if you are using something that you use often, the effect that it has on you can become weaker as your brain kind of decides to consider it noise in the background and it doesn't have the same effect. So you you're just going to want to keep in mind that how something is working, kind of check in with yourself and be like, okay, is this still something I want? um but this is all personal, it's individual, um and you are only limited by your creativity. So do some self-reflection and find things that are really going to help you get through what you need to get through. So, as summary, anxiety kits can be a great way to prepare for your next anxiety attack. They are portable. You can put them in a bag, a backpack, and just take them with you. You can have multiple ones for wherever you're going, suited to the situation that you may be walking into. So remember to be creative, because the better quality things that you find, the better it's going to work for you. It causes no harm and has no side effects, and you won't lose anything from trying it. So I would say think about it a little bit. Think about things that may work, and just get whatever you would need, whether that's a video on your phone or a fidget toy or something, and just keep it with you. And maybe just try one thing at first to see, does this make a difference to me? Is it doing what I think it does? And you can build from there and make it to wherever you would like to be. So this is my first video. I'm not terribly rehearsed, not terribly great. So feel free to comment with your thoughts, questions, or suggestions. And I will get to them. And I am not perfect, so if you have something you would like to see me improve, put it down in the comments. And the website is afewcloudsfromtimetotime.com, and I will also put my email address in the description. Thank you very much for watching.